Hi, today we are going to talk of one of the best topics in the field of innovation. There you go, the classification of the innovations. So what is the innovation? Different types of innovations, different forms of innovations we have seen. Now, some of the innovations can have an organic growth which evolve over time. So for example, as you can see, the power utilities that you're getting, the electricity that was generated, it was not a half a day event. It was 11-year 13-year effort. So it was a classic example of evolutionary innovation. Then what's the other aspect? So the radical innovation. Today, your iPhone or any of your smartphone has become such an awesome tool where you can have the healthcare management as well from the telecommunication that was originally intended. What I mean exactly is it was meant for your emails and you primarily your phones, and today you can see not only the videos but manage your healthcare issues as well as communicate specifically on that using other value added gadgets with like IoTs. So that is a classic example of the radical innovation, how disruptiveness has brought out the change in the way you adapt to the things. The lastly, it's the incremental innovation. Now that you have done a fabulous innovation, how do you get a faster speed of your, for example, the central processing unit, the CPU in a motherboard? So that's another example of the incremental innovation. That said, let's understand what are the key aspects that we need to look into to ensure that the innovations are coming out in whatever the classification buckets that we are talked to. Primarily, you got to understand the problem. That is a huge prereq. For example, if you go to any enterprise, understand where the business pain points are and you try to come up with a possible solution. This analysis and the possible solution that you're going to explore, or the combination of solutions, whichever works the best, is an example of how you are going to perform a detailed analysis, understanding the problem first. Like as the quotation goes, a problem well defined is a problem half solved. I read it in Dale Carnegie's book. So it's a classic example. How do you understand the problem and then define about the solution options? And then how do you estimate that this particular solution you have envisioned is going to give value to the customer? This is of primary importance. Understanding how this is going to provide the value is the crux of what you are building and serving the customer base. Next, gaining insight to the trends and opportunities. This you can leverage different analytics tools to do that. Why? Contextually understanding what is going on in the marketplace, who is producing what, who is reaching which market segment with what wow factors. You got to understand those trends. It is pretty mandatory. Otherwise, we will produce a product that essentially no one is going to adopt. That's guaranteed. So that's it. Let's go ahead and see the next item, which is very, very important. It is the innovation strategy. So how do you bring the entire your business strategy, align it with the innovation strategy? Then the innovation can take the form of the product strategy, then essentially the process strategy or the service strategy, and then the go-to-market strategy, and then addressing different customer market segments and fine-tuning your strategies even to your target market base. As you see, this is the logical flow that one needs to adopt, and then it primarily starts with the type of innovation that you're going to serve to the customers. Next, defining your priorities. You can't solve all the 10 problems, so put it as a part of a suite and then address each problem one at a time, and then thereby you can have a chance to provide the incremental innovations as well. That route is a possible route that you can constantly value add your customer base. And then define your icebreakers. What are the typical classic problems? In this case, we are taking enterprise. So how I'm going to break the ice by solving that crux of the problem, which was existing 5 years, 10 years. And then you would have given a wow factor by bringing the latest innovation and a possible solution in that direction. Lastly, establishing the cross-functional teams is the essential need. Why most of the products fail? Because they are not seen it end to end, start to finish. where does the customer adopt it and where does the customer leave it, and will it serve the purpose of the job function, be it the director or the senior executive or the leaders or even R&D scientist. Can he adapt and serve the purpose across the functions of the business unit essentially? That is the crux of it. Hope this gives you a perspective of different classifications of the innovations as well as the key aspects that you need to look into. Next time on, we'll address one more topic. Thank you very much for your attention. Have a nice day. Bye.